mistake. It was apologized for. That's the next piece. On top of that, after I apologized, it was then passed up the chain to people with more subscribers so that I would then have to address it again. Puppeteering me for their content. So, I will be addressing it my way and moving on with my gosh darn
Technical
life.
difficulties.
And those who are stragglers are welcome to hit the inbox, hit those DMs, and ask for personal explanations in a reasonable and rational, healthy fashion. Those will be addressed. It is time to move on for the sake of everybody. Because more people are getting hurt. And the people making these videos about me and about my past do not care about your feelings. I do. That's why I'm wising up and I'm learning how to do it better. And I'm also learning how to say it better. Because I freaking care. So I'm showing it. Anyway. I'm not here to enable you, and I don't want you to enable me. But I do want this relationship on some level. They want to make an example of me for the sake of their own pride and malice. But now this isn't speaking to people who are on the other end of it. Okay, so I'm sure there are some of you, a lot of you, who are simply watching and witnessing and making your opinions, or you're hurt by me, or what you've seen of me, things like that, right? I'm speaking on the people who are making the videos. Understand that. The people who are making the videos, this is how they are. They don't like me because they're getting exposed just by me telling my truth. I'm not here to expose anybody. I don't play that game. It happens on accident when I'm transparent. That's why they want me to shut up so bad. Understand that. That my honesty will topple an entire section of the industry if I reach the heights that I'm made to reach. If I really get where I want to in life, the part of the industry that is constant smut and lies about people, that defamation is also becoming crime across the nation. I said this would happen, if people remember. As I gain success, these people will be pulled out to the light and end up getting in trouble for their criminal behavior. I warned you. Not because I said I was going to do anything. And I always said that. I won't have to do anything. I won't do anything. Take a look at California. The trend will follow. Remember weed being legalized? Guys, when our country sees a good pattern, it decides to pick it up and make it the norm. We need to be more careful with how we behave on the internet. I'm learning early because I see the flood coming. I'm making responsible choices, not only because I am that person, but because I realized the only reason I never got justice for what happened to me is because the system was still catching up. And I complained instead of making do. And I am sorry for that, for dragging you into that. You know, that was ridiculous. I'll agree. But anyway. Okay. They want to make an example of me for the sake of their own pride and malice, but the only result, even if it's post false incarceration, you know, for me, I keep it all on the table because I'm an honest guy. It might happen. With enough social pressure, it's possible. But God willing, it doesn't. And I just have to keep my faith, stay a strong, stable person, and keep doing well. And I should be okay. For the sake of their own pride and malice, but the only result, even if it's post-false incarceration, will be me being victorious with whatever cards God decides to deal me at the time. This is for my life, guys. It's not about pride. I'm saying whatever God puts in my hands, that's going to be my life. Kate and I are doing very well. It's most everyone else who will need time to come to terms with the fact that a human being can adapt that quickly, mature, and heal, especially when that adaptation is towards the person they really are deep down, but was always told it wasn't possible. With love in my heart, I'm moving on. I invite anyone reading this to come with us. Welcome to my life. No labels. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and eat, and I'm going to shut down the broadcast so I can enjoy it in peace. I do want to hear what you have to say, so I have an inbox for that, for the people who aren't, just seeking attention. if you genuinely want the conversation. I've been waiting a very long time to talk to people and be treated like a human being. I'm finally to treat myself like a human being, which now means I'm going to say that I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was doing that. I didn't, because I didn't realize that I didn't see myself as even human, because I always felt like I was less than one. So, talk soon. Thanks for coming. My name is Jimmy Saroka, and I'm a live stream broadcaster and social media guy, you might say. I work in the social media industry as a creator. I am rather small time, but that's changing. If you're coming on here and you're new, this is a courtesy video for anyone that is new. Just to address stuff that is brand new to you because I care about your feelings and not for any other reason. And although I might have a weird way of showing it and I might be a prick in some ways, it's really just because I'm salty that, it's been so hard for people to let go. But I'm finally realizing there's a whole lot of people that are completely new to it. I'm like, crap. So this isn't Chauncey, welcome on. So this isn't necessarily an apology video, but it is a, hey, let me help you catch up a little bit and realize that I'm not a narcissistic maniac. So let's have that conversation. Oh, that spot look amazing. Oh, also, thank you for the food. Somebody sent us food again. I have a feeling that my schedule is being watched, and then people are making sure that food shows up right as I'm going live, because literally food just showed up. And if you look at I have a schedule. I don't plan these things. There are many people that plan their lives around me. And I'm starting to think that they actually do it to make it look like I'm the one planning it. I probably could orchestrate that. It's not really that hard, but I don't. So, you'll have to take me on my word or not. That's up to you. I'm definitely going to try one of these tots. Okay. Let's get right to it. What kind of food? Chicken fingers with honey mustard, and then a ham sandwich with cheese on grilled cheese, which looks amazing. I'll take a bite of that too. Okay. Well, calm down, Shrimp on the Barbie. Shrimp on the Barbie. My first post on Instagram is about you. If you probably didn't even look. To me, on Periscope, I've been on Periscope for a while, as you guys are on for a long time too. But I mean, think about the amount of hours that I've spent on this platform. To this day, Shrimp on the Barbie is the number one most clever username I've seen. So, anyway, a few years. Yeah, Sophie, welcome on. Not buying followers on Instagram, so conversation not going to happen. I don't care. We want to get. Who are you? You don't care. What do you care? Or do you not care? Step aside for a bit. Just saying. No, Yerky, I'm finally good. This is my point. No more bipolar. I'm here, then I'm not here. I'm here, then I'm not here. Let me take a break. No, I've learned how to manage myself while having to handle this stuff, because life doesn't just stop because I want a vacation. And my job isn't my life, but social media is really weird. And so, people are integrated with stuff. We're integrated into this at this point. And I have to admit that. And I keep myself as separate as I have to for health reasons. Why am I yelling? I'm excited. I'm always excited. And as things get better again and I get better again, I'm getting back to being myself. And so I'm naturally a very high energy person. It's not mania. And the more I feel accepted, the more I talk and get loud and talk more and overshare. That's my personality. It's not an insecurity. It's not a problem. It's not an illness. I feel safe. I'm a smart guy. I know how to stand up for myself. Where I went wrong was arrogance. I got arrogant. And I thought, oh, well, I don't need your help. How many times? You guys saw over the years, how many times that I would get on and I'd say, oh, no, I'm doing real good, right? And somebody says, well, you can't say that. I reacted like a little kid, and I'd be like, you can't tell me what to do. I freak out. and I'd have like my own little hissy fit. Like, you can't tell me what to do. You're wrong. I'm right. Remember, man. Here's what I will say about the apology video thing. Like, that's the reason that's a different story is because apology video was already made. But I'm going to go through that now, and then I'm going to eat the food before it's cold. Okay, and I'm actually reading off the script with you guys, which you guys know I never do. I'm doing it because it's actually a comment from on YouTube. I also made a podcast on Anchor about it, and now I'm going to go ahead and read that. Or you know what? No, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, to read. Have you, because I said more in the podcast, but I sounded cranky in the podcast, so. All right, reading it. I'm not ignoring anything. I'm talking. It's my platform. All right, here we go. Our best bet is to simply move on. I've already addressed this in the past as Caitlin and I have moved on to a healthier situation with healthier people in our environment, while also taking measures to rejuvenate our relationship as well as seek counsel on sorting through the difficult time we experience. The internet's current issue is the disbelief that a man resorted to abuse because of abuse happening during said abuse, and that owning my behavior also means I have to keep my mouth shut about the other side of the coin, mostly because I'm male. That's simply sexist. Something I don't stand for, believe it or not. Right now, there are many people heavily confused about me. I'm patient with that, considering I've been living a backwards life to who I am for quite some time. They'll come around in time, and it may take a lot of it. Thank you for your kind words and support. The entitled and masochistic people pointing fingers at me will simply need to learn. Now, this is, careful, to anybody out there who really is not just trying to cover up anything else or blah, blah, blah. It's not referring to you. This piece is only referring to people that it refers to. They know who they are. If it's not you, it's not you. It works that simply. Okay. Because those people need to be addressed more so than the other people. Because I'm addressing you now. It comes next. But they have to come first. They always want to come first. They have to come first. So, where was I? Simply need to learn I'm a human being with a heart, and no matter what labels they throw at me, none of them will stick, because they're not true to who I am. What is true is that I continue to That I continue to apologize for the past for the rest of my life, is that if I continue to apologize for the past for the rest of my life, I will remain in the past. I can apologize an extra time here, but then there will be the next wave, and then the next. I've been living in this loop, defining my life on the opinions of others for far too long. I do feel sorry for the people in emotional agony over what they see online in reference to my life. But is it my responsibility to clean up a mess others continue to make and using my name as a way to say it's my fault? Stay with me, and that I need to be involved at all. I made my mistake. It was apologized for. That's the next piece. On top of that, after I apologized, it was then passed up the chain to people with more subscribers so that I would then have to address it again, puppeteering me for their content. So I will be addressing it my way and moving on with my gosh darn life. And those who are stragglers are welcome to hit the inbox, hit those DMs, and ask for personal explanations in a reasonable and rational, healthy fashion. Those will be addressed. It is time to move on for the sake of everybody. Because more people are getting hurt. And the people making these videos about me and about my past do not care about your feelings. I do. That's why I'm wising up and I'm learning how to do it better. And I'm also learning how to say it better. Because I freaking care. So I'm showing it. Anyway. I'm not here to enable you, and I don't want you to enable me. But I do want this relationship on some level. They want to make an example of me for the sake of their own pride and malice. But now this isn't speaking to people who are on the other end of it. Okay, so I'm sure there are some of you, a lot of you, who are simply watching and witnessing and making your opinions, or you're hurt by me, or what you've seen of me, things like that, right? I'm speaking on the people who are making the videos. Understand that. The people who are making the videos, this is how they are. They don't like me because they're getting exposed just by me telling my truth. I'm not here to expose anybody. I don't play that game. It happens on accident when I'm transparent. That's why they want me to shut up so bad. Understand that. That my honesty will topple an entire section of the industry if I reach the heights that I'm made to reach. If I really get where I want to in life, the part of the industry that is constant smut and lies about people, that defamation is also becoming crime across the nation. I said this would happen, if people remember. As I gain success, these people will be pulled out to the light and end up getting in trouble for their criminal behavior. I warned you. Not because I said I was going to do anything. And I always said that. I won't have to do anything. I won't do anything. Take a look at California. The trend will follow. Remember weed being legalized? Guys, when our country sees a good pattern, it decides to pick it up and make it the norm. We need to be more careful with how we behave on the internet. I'm learning early because I see the flood coming. I'm making responsible choices, not only because I am that person, but because I realized the only reason I never got justice for what happened to me is because the system was still catching up. And I complained instead of making do. And I am sorry for that, for dragging you into that. You know, that was ridiculous. I'll agree. But anyway. Okay. They want to make an example of me for the sake of their own pride and malice, but the only result, even if it's post-incarceration, for me, I keep it all on the table because I'm an honest guy. It might happen. With enough social pressure, it's possible. But God willing, it doesn't. And I just have to keep my faith, stay a strong, stable person, and keep doing well. And I should be okay. For the sake of their own pride and malice, but the only result, even if it's post-false incarceration, will be me being victorious with whatever cards God decides to deal me at the time. This is for my life, guys. It's not about pride. I'm saying whatever God puts in my hands, that's going to be my life. Kate and I are doing very well. It's most everyone else who will need time to come to terms with the fact that a human being can adapt that quickly, mature, and heal, especially when that adaptation is towards the person they really are deep down, but was always told it wasn't possible. With love in my heart, I'm moving on. I invite anyone reading this to come with us. Welcome to my life. No labels. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and eat, and I'm going to shut down the broadcast so I can enjoy it in peace. I do want to hear what you have to say, so I have an inbox for that, for the people who aren't, just seeking attention. If you genuinely want the conversation, I've been waiting a very long time to talk to people and be treated like a human being. I'm finally ready to treat myself like a human being, which now means I'm going to say that I'm sorry that I didn't treat you that way. I didn't realize I was doing that. I didn't, because I didn't realize that I didn't see myself as even human, because I always felt like I was less than one. So, talk soon. Thanks for coming. So we're moving forward. Layla says, I like your shirt. Thank you. Thank you. Good stuff moving forward is that I've addressed everything where it should be addressed. Now, here on YouTube, I am having respect for the community guidelines, because in the community guidelines it clearly states to be very careful about delving into different criticized topics and sketchy talk. And my life had gotten sketchy. I've moved on. I invite you to come with. Jill, welcome on. How are you? She goes, hey, Clay, says Joe Gallagher. That's funny. Okay. What's up, Vegas Barbie? Welcome on. Well, I've officially decided what each of my platforms are going to have, and I wanted to fill you all in. Jimmy and Caitlin, hey, she says hi. I'm going to be doing Facebook gaming on Facebook. McNuggets this morning, not organic, says Veronica. Hi, Veronica. So yes, it will be. I like this. Good. No, I'll get on topic. After. This is nice. That's okay, Finchfield. You go have a good day, okay? Facebook gaming on Facebook. There will be on Instagram is going to be travel. Obviously, until the pandemic is lifted, travel is going to be a bit iffy. Terry says, why are you putting yourself through this? Because it's worth it. It's worth it. That's worth it. I hope you're both safe. We are, and we're doing very well. Thank you. Chug-a-lugs asks how he can contribute. Just be here in the broadcast, share out to your friends, subscribe, and turn on notifications. The people that watch the most videos for us are the people who have notifications on. So, like I said, if you want to be loyal to the channel, it's much appreciated. Notifications are huge. So, like I said, travel content is going to be on Instagram. Gaming content will be on Facebook. Periscope is going to be just interaction with you guys for the most part. And probably just off-topic random stuff. Me just kind of being myself. Whether the conversation is about me or about you is really going to depend on the climate in the room. If there's a positive climate, it'll be more about you. If there's a negative climate, it'll be more about me. And that's just because, it's not safe or healthy for me to be engaging with comments when they're negative. Am I missing buttons on my shirt? Yes, I am. Okay. Facebook, Instagram, Periscope. Snapchat, once again, is just going to be individual interaction. Similar to that in 2017, 2016. Just regular stuff, talking to people. I absolutely love one-on-one conversations, so Snapchat will get fun again. If you are snapping me, send photos, okay? I love the back and forth and the way that it was back in the day before people were paranoid about sending snaps to each other. I'm not paranoid. I don't get scared. Personally, I'm fully aware that people will, just put it on the internet and say whatever. And, I'm not concerned about that. My integrity is intact, and, just people will be people. But I'm not going to let fear control the way that I live. So I'm going to live with integrity as a healthy person and be able to appreciate my environment and the people in my environment. Includes having conversations with people of all different walks of life. That's a normal thing. So, that's Snapchat. Give me 1 second. I'm going to catch up here. Sarah says, do you remember me? I do, Sarah. Sarah, were you Tiger Shark? Were you Tiger Shark or were you Penguin Turtle? She was Tiger Shark. Thank you, Kate. Kate says Sarah was Tiger Shark. What might be a good idea is while I'm live here, if you were watching the real-time analytics, that would probably give you a real good read on, just keeping an eye on when people are live with us. Let's see, where are we at? Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Anchor.fm/Jim Saroka is going to be my podcast, and the podcast is fun. Asterix, thank you for the $20 in the super chat. She says, happy Saturday, YouTube is my favorite. Periscope second. Keep it up, K and J and K. Thank you very much. Good luck with that, Kate, says Diane C. Good luck with that. Kate, genuine. let's have hope. Positive hope, positive stuff, good stuff. I think a lot of things had gone askew and they no longer have to. Good stuff. Absolute support. Best we can do right now. Okay. So, there's that. How are you, angels? We are definitely not angels, but we're doing very well. Well, I will speak for myself. I'm doing very well. I'm handling a level of stress that I never humanly possibly thought I could. But I'm also realizing I finally got the scope of things, no pun intended, where I thought it was such a big deal. And now I finally see that it's just this linear path that will continue as we grow. And I'm glad that I learned that at the bottom, because if it were, years down the road or when I was doing okay, someone of that size and stature doing what they're attempting to do to me, I would have been all stressed out. Whereas now I see all the way down the line that that's just a piece of the industry, period. It just comes with the package. I just have to stay focused. It just comes with the package. And I always thought, well, I want one piece and not the other. But I'm growing up. Yosemite says, do you get headaches when you eat non-organic food? No, not unless I just cram food down. I have an overeating problem, and that's related to my stress. But eating organic is expensive, and the food is also rather bland a lot of the time. So ironically for me, that pain, pleasure, reward system for me really keeps me from indulging when I genuinely just don't have the the willpower to avoid it, because I'm under so much emotional stress. But what I've learned to do is appreciate the people in my environment as stress relief and positive relationships, as opposed to blaming them for stuff going on in my in my online environment. It's not their fault, it's not their responsibility, but at the same time, these people are in my life, and so it's on me to kind of maneuver that and figure it out. And I am finally taking that on as main point and so important. And then on top of that, like I said, the food, funny enough, is like a backwards thing for me as to why it's so important. But it's also obviously very good for my health. But if I could be more healthy and be able to eat that kind of food, I mean, who doesn't like saving a little money? I think we all like that. So, Cameron says, I need to get a Periscope. Do you do more streams over there? I've only seen you here. I do more streams over there than I do here right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how it's going to be long term. That's where things are right now. You're angels to me, says Sarah. Well, thank you, Sarah. Much appreciated. Okay, definitely not your mom, but whoever made the comment, definitely not your mom. But you know what I say? Hey, luck. You don't need luck because you got skill. How about that? Are you? There should be. Are you in the live? Oh my gosh, that's sick. I've never seen that. Yeah, but the little pieces that are there, I've never seen that before. Sorry, guys, I'm a geek. That's pretty cool. I've never seen the real-time analytics before for live stream. How do I reach out to you kids? Any platform. You're more than welcome to reach out. Kate is very avoidant of personal interaction with people from the internet right now for a lot of her own reasons. And, everyone is doing their best to respect that space. So, I think that's the right thing. It's just for her to sort her stuff out. And I'll sit here and sort my stuff out. And, let anyone that doesn't like me, they can come at me. And the people that do, thank you for your support and your patience. Realizing that my goal was always to help Caitlin and be there for her. And it obviously turned sour. But I never meant to take control. I really meant to push her forward and support her. But now things are getting on a better track, which is really good. And, that has a lot to do with just my retraction, her retraction, and both of us realizing we're separate people And even if we ever want to get married, like if we ever want to get back together and get married, or if however we're going to live our life, that during this quarantine is the biggest test of both of our lives. And neither one of us is running away from it. And I hope this sets an example for anyone in a relationship that may be difficult, but that you've made it through your struggles, and that the patterns are not repeating, to work through that. And yes, to some people, letting you know that, of course, there's always that fear that could come back. And trust me when I say I'm afraid of that within myself. I never thought that I would get there. It's mind-blowing to me that it could ever have gotten there. And I know Caitlin feels the same on her end of things. But you're not worried about her end of things for the most part. You guys are worried about mine, or you're not worried at all. So either way, just know that I have owned my stuff, and we're moving forward. And I really do care about you. And when let me say this, is I will get into Twitter, and I've gotten into Twitter, and I'm responding to people, and I'm a bit responsive myself, like a little, I definitely lash back to a degree. But at the same time, I don't think those people realize it's because I care about them. It's very hard to take on the kind of things that people are saying to me, but I will fight for those people, the worst of the worst, who are not bad, they are confused. Because to most people, they would be considered the worst people on the planet. There are certain people who are genuinely toxic, but I have finally learned that they are far and few between. And so I do have the ability to sort through all of that. I have the ability in my mind to handle what's thrown at me, and to kind of delve in there and find the people that are legitimately concerned, or the people who are genuine good people and just hurt, and sort through that and bring them to light and bring them to the surface, and make an effort to support them and raise them up above the people who are just so loud and resounding, and they're really just fighting for attention and malice for whatever had happened to them, And even for those people, I want to say that we should have to them, honestly, obviously keep healthy space, but recognize that deep love is understanding that these people are misunderstood, and maybe they've been misunderstood for so long that they couldn't get out of whatever cycle they're in. And I've made it out of that cycle, and I will never return. But I know what it's like to be in those shoes. And compassion is absolutely necessary, even for the worst of people, because they will never get better unless you have a good heart towards them. And I got better because a whole lot of good people had a good heart towards me, no matter what happened. I may not have ever become as bad as them, but I was pretty rough. And things have gotten better. And the only people I remember and give credit to in that process are the people who are loving towards me. So, as I sit here on my own platform crying for the people crapping on me, I'm trying to make a point. I do care. I'm just salty, but I'll get over it. So, okay. Karma says, YouTubers think I'm crazy, Periscope, blah, 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 blah. You're using the names of entire platforms to say someone with 2,500 subscribers is completely hated by the entire YouTube community. And that's very crushing, and it's an inappropriate attack. So I can't answer how that feels, because I don't know, because it's an extremely gaslit comment. So, I can't really tell you how that feels. Joseph says, how have you managed to get as far ahead as you have in just five short years? I'm assuming you don't mean socially. I'm assuming you mean intellectually, or, just how I've managed to get better and work through things. It's pretty much just focusing on the realism of my heart and my mind, knowing who I am and keeping focused on that, no matter what anyone else said, or when I was baited into making mistakes. I always kept my cool, deep down. And it doesn't make an excuse for anything. But, it's still, I hurt a lot of people's feelings. I didn't hurt a lot of people. But what I finally learned was, and I finally am learning this, when you hurt someone's feelings, you are hurting someone. I didn't get that. I grew up without embracing my feelings a whole lot. So now I get it. So, I'm still a little hurtful, but I'm the regular kind of hurtful. I refuse to be fake about it. I'm trying to work through the rest of it. And, I can't be perfect. Nobody's perfect, guys. Nobody. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you have a conversation with them. And if it's an inappropriate conversation at the door, just mute it and, hang out with the cam until I get back.
Okay.
Just mute it real quick while I answer the door.
Alright.
Should be in the bottom. Okay, thank you. Hey, oh my goodness. There's 600 people in here. Thanks for being here, everybody. If you're brand new, my name is Jimmy Saroka. I live stream for a living. And somebody ordered pizza to a room that's not in this hotel. So, hey, guys look knocking on doors trying to figure out who it belongs to. If we had the cash, I would have taken it. I wanted that pizza. Do you want to talk to them for a minute? I'm going to run and get some water. Or no? You don't? Okay. Do you want to grab me water? Okay. Thank you. Alright. Anyway. So where was I? So back to square one. Right? Good conversation so far. At least I hope you feel so. Facebook, Instagram. In case you're new in here, Facebook is going to be Facebook Gaming. Instagram will be travel. Here on YouTube is going to be vlogging. And then a couple of lives here and there. Lives throughout the week. Excuse me. Throughout the week. Periscope will be hanging out with you guys. If you don't know what Periscope is, it's live stream for Twitter. Twitter is Twitter. So, not much explanation there. And then, I think that's it. Am I missing anything? Yeah, Anchor will be the podcast. And then that's shot out to Spotify, Google Podcasts. We've actually been approved on, I think, 4 or 5 different platforms for the podcast so far, which is really exciting for me. David Langley, welcome on. How are you? What is happening? Hanging out. What's happening with you? Sorry I'm not talking much. I'm in so much muscle pain today. Why are you in muscle pain? Do you have a good workout? Tim says, why not read everything and confront them? Here's the thing, Tim. By the time I answer one question, then I have to answer the next, and the next, and the next. I really like to keep the live streams focused on reality, the present reality, and like positive stuff. If you're on my Twitter or in the comments here on YouTube, I might seem to have a bit different of a demeanor. I definitely, Honey Badger, welcome on. How are you? Am I still working out? Says Rachel Huff. Rachel Huff, no, I'm not. I already said that though, that I didn't want to. Yeah, so present reality, like I said, for me, I'll hit the comments. If you guys want to talk in the comments regular, that works too. But I think I'm finally realizing live stream is going to happen last when it comes to regular conversation, because it's like everybody has the platform, everyone has the floor, and a whole lot of people want to fight for my floor. And so I'm going to focus on you as best as I can, you regular, with a sound and decent mind. But for those who are still struggling with coming into the present, then, that's just how it is. That's the best I can do right now. I can't control other people or what they do. I overdid it with my cleaning today. That sounds like a good cleaning day. If you're sore over cleaning, I can relate to that, though, I'm not going to lie. Kate can, too. Yeah, our last apartment, oh boy, did we... Well, Joe, what do you mean you only see negative? I'm here positive. What are you talking about? Here I am. I'm here, I'm positive. Here's the reality, my friend. I cannot sit still even in my 50s. That's good. Good on you, Sarah. Good stuff. Okay, so ultimately, okay, what do you want to talk about? Is there anything you want to talk about? Nothing you want to talk about? Well, that was pretty much what I had to tell you. That's the content that's going to be on the platforms. You're going to be there. You're going to be watching it. Whether you like it or dislike it, that is engagement, and that's good. I guess I will be seeing you there. Isolating is hard, not being able to see my grandbabies. Can't even imagine. Sarah, please do connect with us elsewhere. It'd be nice to have a sanity stream, or like a conversation somewhere where health, mental health is important to people. That would be, a good space for us to share. All right. You guys think you're so tough. Let's talk right here, because I'm not being fake. I'm trying to be respectful to healthy people. I will simply sit here and take your shots as you think you're so smart and special and mature that you are the adult in the room, as you drag everyone into the past because you can't handle it. Well, guess what? I will sit in the past with you, and I will pat your butt and coddle you until you're ready to move forward, because I care. It is not my job to answer to someone else gaslighting content that was inappropriate behavior from the past, and then continually bringing it into the future, and then boosting it up to people with more subs just to get it out in the open and try and get more people talking about it. So I'm going to let you know that I've changed, but I am here for you, and I will happily take this on if it means that I can heal the people who are taking my past mistakes and hurting people in the present with them. You let me know. Because that stuff did not happen in front of you initially, and someone else putting it in front of you is just their way of hurting you, trying to use me and say that I'm the one that hurt you. So what's up? Bella Luna says, 2 days said Kate wasn't your girlfriend. And she's not. Scotty, with all due respect, you don't deserve my time or attention anymore because you've done nothing but be extremely rude to me since day one. There has not been one thing out of your mouth that has been anything other than foul. I'm moving on from you. It's not about not being unbothered. I am bothered. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm unbothered. I'm trying to move on. I am clearly bothered. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm trying to move on. There's nothing to conceal other than the fact that you're hurting my feelings. There's nothing left to conceal. What else is there to conceal? It happened. Life happens. Mistakes happen. Really bad things happen to people every day, me included, Kate included. We're both moving on. We'd like to help you do so as well if that's what you need help with. I recognize that to a degree, my mistake affected your life, and I'm sorry about that. But while you pretend you're so concerned about Kate, I'm having trouble believing who's actually concerned about Kate, and Kate is having just as much trouble knowing who's concerned about her. She doesn't trust you because so many of you are just looking for like attention or to be somebody's Jesus, to be her saving grace, and you're only upsetting her further, making her feel like a victim when we're not even fighting anymore. We get along completely and normally because I got all the crazies out of my life, and I got all the crazy ideas out of my head about some, just a whole lot of just weird stuff from my past that had been built into me. So I'm healthy now. And when people say they value that, if you really valued me being healthy, Kate being healthy, you'd realize we're making our own choices and it's our life in our hands. It's not your life to live, and it is your life to you. And it is very unhealthy and entitled and narcissistic to believe that you have a right to control how we live our life. So if you're not the person who's trying to do that, I'm asking you if you will please do us a favor and be a little more polite and concise and clear about your intentions, because your attacks make it very unclear what you're actually trying to do. It is not your fault, anything that happened. It is not your responsibility, anything that happened. It's not necessarily my responsibility to answer to you. The reason I want to is actually because you're hurt. I will be able to tell who is hurt and who is not based on when we have a conversation and I'm tender about it. If it doesn't go anywhere, then I don't believe you. But don't look at me like I'm some strange thing that's unrelatable, because I'm normal and I'm extremely relatable. And under the amount of stress I was under, most people would have done far worse than I did. It's not an excuse. I'm just letting you know. You have no idea what I went through. But let's talk about it. Because everybody needs to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it. Because I care. Not because I feel pressured to. I do feel pressured to. But the conversation has a lot more to do with your feelings. Camel Pug, insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. I agree, Camel Pug. That's why I'm doing something similar and not something the same. I'm not doing it the same way I used to. I'm doing it similar. Because there are very many pieces of this, people included, that I value about this situation and about this life. That's why I won't make any major alterations just because someone else said so. Sarah says, is Kate okay? I worry this is hurting her. Are you okay, Kate? Yeah, she's good. Sarah, part of Kate being okay was us breaking up. Because the water? Yeah. A big piece of Kate being okay was us breaking up. Because, now that we're not attached in that way, it's a lot easier for her to see me getting reamed and not feel hurt about it. I'm sure feeling misunderstood doesn't help, but realize that to a very large degree, she would act on screen, and then when the screen shut off, she was just as abusive. She was just clever enough to not do it on the screen. But that's over now. And thank God nobody's trying to make her pay for it. She sees it on her own. I'm okay with people knowing and throwing in my face my mistakes. And the reason is because I care. I care enough to look you in the face and have the conversation. And it amazes me. While people say, you people are saying I'm a coward, this and this and that, I'm still sitting in front of you and making an effort to actually have the conversation. That's not cowardice, that's courage. And that courage has a lot more to do with love than anything else. So, one day, maybe some of you will come to terms with that. Maybe you won't. I can't control that. What I can control is whether or not I can help. My goal is to love you. With all due respect, I can't control whether or not I can't say I don't care if you don't love me. I obviously do, but I care whether or not you feel loved because I very, very, very deeply know what it's like to not feel loved. That's why I'll fight so hard to help other people feel it. Unfortunately, I thought I had to fight to do that. Nope. Just gotta listen. I'm learning how. Thank you for the $1 super chat, Asterix. And Asterix gave a hot dog sticker for the broadcast. Thank you. I do know what love is. Love is being there for people, no matter what they think of you. And I'm calling your bluff. I'm still waiting for the conversation. I'm waiting for the adults in the room who say they're so smart and they really care, and I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm only seeing attacks. Sarah says, have you kids ever been to Scotland? You are welcome anytime. Thank you, Sarah. Not yet, we have not, but more than likely we will very soon. I have a buddy over there I need to meet in person, and I haven't met him yet. Have I ever been physically abused by a girlfriend before? I have. Yes. Don't let them drag you into the apologizing to them place, because trust me when I say
to you.
Thank you. I know, but they hear it. They hear it. Trust me when I say it. Me saying it and you saying it are two different things. They'll drag anybody into this that they can. They're just looking for dancing monkeys, people who are trying for drama. People who legitimately want to see us better will legitimately say that. But those who don't, then, we just have to sift through them. And there's usually going to be a lot more of those than people who genuinely care. That's just how life works. So, I will ask again, as everyone said, I'm seeing so many questions, I'm seeing so many comments about, will you talk about it? Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm not seeing anything. Lola, here's the thing about you personally. You have also been nothing but abusive towards me since seeing me in Periscope in 2017. You were always jealous of me. And so I'm going to ask you to step off. I'm going to let you know from now on, you're also someone who more than likely won't be acknowledged. Because you angle questions in such a way where you're really not looking for an answer. You just want to incite a riot because of some insane level of jealousy that I could never relate to. Okay. What's good, Jay Slice? Am I finally unblocked, says Brando. Yes, Brando. Everyone is unblocked, and it will be staying that way because it doesn't matter anymore. People are going to talk. They'll, the next thing they're going to come up with is I came from a spaceship, or I'm the Antichrist, or something else insane. That's been the track record, and I could have seen that track record in the beginning, but I didn't piece it together. You look at people like Taylor Swift or blah, 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 okay? Pick anybody on the top, and you'll find 10,000 conspiracy theories behind their name. You'll find 10,000 smut videos behind their name. And I'm sitting here thinking I would make it there without having any of that. Okay, so I was a bit overshooting it, yeah? I was overshooting it quite a bit. So time to grow up and stop judging and stop, looking at other people and saying, well, they can't do what I do as good as I do. Well, guess what? They're doing a million other things better than I do. I'm getting crapped on for the thing that I'm so good at because I'm busy talking about what other people can't do. I'm finally done pretending like I'm insecure. I was spending too much time around insecure people. I'm rather secure, and I really know how to handle people well, and I really know how to handle social media well, and I don't necessarily have the tools to do it right now. Making do with what I have, and I'm doing pretty darn good with it. Yeah. I absolutely disagree that I will not be able to overcome the reputation, because the reputation is 90% false. In life, when people have an opinion about you, people could make fantastical lies and play their games, but it's not about, let me say it this way, it's not about overcoming a reputation. There are people out there who do real well for themselves that have a terrible reputation. Me personally, I've made some mistakes up until now, but, as long as I keep my nose clean, and I just continue to keep my nose clean, as I have always, but I also don't trash people who don't keep their nose clean, and I focus on me, I'm going to be okay. And in the long run, my name will be okay. My character is in place. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all going to be okay. But I'm the one living my life. I'm the one who has that, that 50-foot view on my life, while other people see less than a 1-foot view of my life. Your life is your life. I'm telling you about mine. Contrary to popular belief, you don't know more about me than I know about me. That's kind of an insane belief, because most of that outside perspective is based on very little data, and most of it is, well, you've seen. So you get the point. Lynn, I love you. Is that an attack? Sherry says, so Jim, may I ask what you see when you imagine your life 5 years from now, not yours and Kate's, only yours? Ooh, 5 years from now, more than likely, I'll still be in this industry. I'll at least be making a living, but I can't say that it'll be more than that. It's going to take a long time to get through everything that's out there, but like I said, I'll have a paycheck and a decent social circle. Now, that social circle won't consist of more than 10 to 15 people, but it'll be a decent 10 to 15 people. I don't really have much else. I've been very distracted for the past 5 years with other people. So what I'm finally learning to do is take just enough time for other people and then, make sure that I take time. And this is something that I had said down in the lobby here in my hotel. I said, it's like playing therapist. My job isn't to be a therapist. And I was trying to help people in ways that just wasn't my place. And they turned around and just tried to take it. I'm focusing on me now. Obviously, that is not the narrative that you guys have seen, not the piece of it, but that was pretty much the first 3 years of things. But like I said, it's now it's my life. So, anyway. Joe Simon says, answer. Oh, I know, that was my point. I'm not. Here's the thing. Eha's Coffee asked me about another YouTuber. Here's the thing, guys. I am not going to repeat Periscope drama years 2017 to 2019. It is not happening. And just because someone has more subs, just because they're big, does not mean they're better. And it does not mean that I'm going to get involved, no matter who talks about me. I have learned my lesson. Finally. And I am wising up to where my boundaries have to be cut off. How far can I go for people without it costing me my life, my family, my paycheck, my freedom, my privacy, before my rights are extremely abused? How far can I go for people? That's always been my number one question. I'm willing to go to the ends of the earth, but I'm finally realizing that's not healthy for me, and I'm finally getting to value my own health. Hey, Bea, welcome on. Bea says, Jim, don't waste your time with these trolls. Bea, here's the thing. My time doesn't get wasted. I invest my time where I want to. And I value people. So, even if it means there's 1 or 2 or 3 people in here who genuinely value that connection and that growth, then that's what I'm going to focus on. Minnie, here's the thing. Minnie says, if you didn't have anything to hide, you would answer the question regardless of angle. Not true. Questions come up where people ask it in a political way, in a very specific way, to make sure, no matter how I answer it, that there's going to be something that looks poor from my angle. And that's not fair. Bullshit! That's slighted. And I'm going to say that at this current point in time, I'm not smart enough to do better. And it's very bullying and abusive for people to throw questions at me that they know I don't know how to handle. I'm working on it. And it's not because I have something to hide. It's because I'm not eloquent enough at telling the truth yet. And when you're in the public, in order to be sensitive towards people, the truth must be shared eloquently in order to be responsible for, how people feel. And I'm working on that. Lizzie says, who in their right mind would ever be jealous of me? People who lack integrity, and more than likely people who are insecure and either utilize a paycheck or different portions of their life to justify why they're decent and I'm not. That's about as far as I can take it. Wex Rex says, J-Dog, are you keeping it real? As best as I can. As best as I can. Brando says it was cold out there. Jay Slice, what's new? Brando, you know what? I can't stand this dude. What's new? Kate and I are doing rather well. We're very healthy and stable. Rebuilding our friendship / relationship / whatever we feel like calling it that day of the week. In respect to you guys as much as we can. We're trying to figure out what we... And that's a lot of ebbing and flowing. And a lot of flowing. And Caitlin is learning about YouTube analytics and different, Google systems, which is really cool. Watching her utilize her ability to learn and become educated and applying it to an actual legitimate science and a practice that's going to be viable in the future and not just for the next 5 to 10 years is really good. And, even though things did not happen well, being in a place where, Kate is actually taking on something she wants to in the way that she wants to, and in the DMs of people who support her and want to see her get forward. It's really good. It's really good. Because, believe it or not, I don't benefit from Caitlin helping me near as much as she benefits from receiving my help. And what's my proof? Look at how bad people talk about me. Trust me when I say Caitlin is getting much more out of this than I am. And I'm totally cool with that. I'm not saying I'm any hero. I'm proud of myself. I am. I do not care what people say about me, and I'm doing right by Kate. So, you know what? That's my integrity. That's my integrity. So talk it up. It's part of the reason why I can handle it so well. Because I'm finally giving back. And I've been able to give back since I was young. And no one will ever let me. No one was ever interested in my help until Caitlin. Unfortunately, I'd been so damaged to that point that I was not healthy enough to help Caitlin until now. And now this is good. It's really good. She is very helpful to me, though. Absolutely. And I'm very grateful for that. And the way people are talking is not her fault. Let me also say that to you, Kate. And she knows that. The way that people are talking to me or treating me is not her fault either. And it's not her responsibility. I'm not saying it makes me smart or dumb or clever or not clever for taking it on. I'm just, like I said, one of my communication values about who I am and taking pride in who I am is what I'm willing to take on the chin for other people. It makes me feel good about myself. And if that's a pride thing, it's a pride thing. But I like me. And I'm really proud of the way I'm being with Kate right now because I've always been so selfish. And I'm no longer being selfish at all. And that's who I always wanted to be. But I was always told I needed more. And I was afraid to be I was afraid to chill. So it's really nice to just finally chill. Mimi says, are you a believer that all publicity is good publicity? Please answer. Absolutely not. No, I do not, Mimi. 100% not. Albert asked, did you delete an IG Live saying, or an IGTV saying Kate was about to leave 3 days ago? Yes, I did. That is talking about the past. But yes, because I had just, now 3 days ago, I don't know, maybe it was 3, feels like a hell of a lot longer than that. But it was just hunkering down and saying, okay, we're in this. And both Kate and I came to terms to it about it together, because I had said to Kate that, things are continuing this way, that, please leave. Like, you can go to your family, go wherever. I'll help you with that. But you have to go, because this isn't going to work. Like, super unhealthy, and I'm not getting drugged back into it. I'm finally moving on. And Kate wants to move on too. But she also sees the value of being here with me, because she knows the golden nugget I have in my pocket. So, and the fact that I'm the one that knows how to use it, and even though there's a lot of people trying to stop me from using it, my biggest mistake was letting people know that I knew how to use it before using it. I wanted people to believe me, and so they did. And then a lot of people who wanted it showed up. And so now it looks like I don't have it. And I do not have a problem with that. I would rather be written off for a while I get my due and get in a good place. Okay. Robin, actually, believe it or not, most people that know of me, they don't know me. So you say I become known. I'm not known. I'm more of an unknown to people than I am a known. People do not know me. So when you say I'm known, that's not really the accurate word. People have heard of me. People that say that they know me, or they know all about me, or whatever. It's extremely assumptive. None of you do. No offense. But I would like to get to know you. There's maybe 3, 4 people in my entire atmosphere, of all the people that know I exist, that actually know anything about me. And that's mostly my fault. Whoa. I spent too much time on the drama. Done with it. So, Sarah says, do you enjoy hiking or the outdoors? Yes, I love hiking in the outdoors. So does Kate. We absolutely love it. See where I'm at? I love you. I do. I'm just where my brain goes. Yeah, absolutely love hiking in the outdoors. Do you? Because I miss it. I miss traveling, and we'll be about to be traveling. That was the other thing I was going to say, guys, is after we leave here, I will make sure that, like, as we're traveling, obviously stay safe, but on the way to where we're going, I will take photos out the window so that you have something to look for Instagram. Try to take as many photos as possible and move at a healthy speed. Sarah says there are beautiful hiking locations in Scotland. Sarah, I would love if you sent me some photos from Scotland of different places to hike. I'm not hyperventilating. I'm trying to breathe because I'm doing a lot of talking. It's been a very long time since I broadcast this much. That was very hurtful. Bella Luna, as Bella Luna says, there's no point in this. You don't want to honestly engage. I am the one honestly engaging. Welcome to reality. I apologize. I'm not going to apologize if someone else gaslit you about me. Alright? I was gaslit about, I was confused about me. Literally, other people have me confused about myself. And it only got worse and worse. I'm refocused. I'm focused for the first time in my life. Bea says these trolls are just insecure. They're people. They're people too, Bea. Thank you for your support, though. I appreciate your intention. I absolutely do. P.O. says, can I ask what the point is with this broadcast so I know what to ask? Things moving forward. We're supposed to be talking about where the platform is going, where my life is going, things like that. And I was going to talk about it, but so many people said they wanted to talk about things that had happened, and then I gave them a chance, but essentially I was calling their bluff, and they didn't actually try to talk about anything. So, P.O., if you'd like to take head point on that, you're more than welcome to ask your questions. Talking about where the future of the platform is going, and where my life is going, what's happening with Kate. I'm actually building out a plan, and we're able to stick to it both financially and otherwise. So I would like to share that with you. That would be really cool, because I'm not afraid to share pieces of it anymore, because I'm smart enough to be tactical about what I do share. Lynn, I appreciate your honest comment. Lynn says, sounds to me like you regret the hell out of how you handled social media before, but you just don't know how to be nice. People don't like you. Lynn, I do know how to be nice. Please understand that I was very, very, very nice for about the first year and a half. But there's only so much constant abuse that an unintelligent person can take. I was stupid, and I had no grit. And when people are mean to me, I used to get triggered by it. Instead of getting triggered, now I simply get hurt. Because oftentimes when people get angry, it's because we don't realize or understand what's happening. There's a disconnect in our knowledge, and so we get mad. It's like if we have a vehicle and the engine is just overheating. Our brain needs to be able to run on all cylinders to handle this kind of stuff. So my brain, I'm learning to run it on all cylinders, maintenance, all that, and then I can handle as much as I'm trying to handle here without getting frustrated or upset or angry. Janet, I am not full of myself. I mean, I'm full, I'm my own person, but it's called self-confidence. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. Janet, if I did, I wouldn't be saying your name and talking to you. I bet you can think of, probably on one hand, two hands, a whole bunch of people who do what I do, social media, but obviously with a legitimate following, that wouldn't talk to you. Probably people with 2,500 subs who wouldn't talk to you. You know what I mean? You can talk about regular people. I could name you right now, probably on two hands, regular, people who are don't even have a following and think they're on top of the world and won't even involve themselves with you or even try to talk to you. I'm clearly making an effort to communicate because I care. When I have my 1,000 subs on YouTube in a couple months, I'm still going to be talking to you guys in a similar way I am now, but I'm going to be probably much nicer because I'm going to know much more easily how to handle what you're throwing at me. Recognizing that most of it is probably fear and a whole bunch of other things that I can't relate to, for whatever had happened to you. Or, like I said, maybe it didn't happen when you're assuming that I'm just some sort of beast. And I can relate to that too, because I remember before anything had happened, what I thought of people who had been the way that I had been. Most people like that, yeah, they intentionally lead themselves down a poor path, they make bad decisions, blah, blah, blah. I think the most difficult piece for anyone to grasp is that I didn't know what I was doing. and that it was an accident, and that all I wanted to do was help and do well, and I kept fighting for it when I didn't realize all I had to do was just take a breath and stop fighting. So, yeah. Sarah says, are you seeing my comments? Yes, I do see your comment right there. I did not see a comment above. Lynn, I have already apologized. I changed. I'm really not sure what you're looking for as far as changing. What can you give me a list of what it is you're waiting to see in me to say that the rest of humanity will accept me as a human being into the human race that I'm in, whether you want me to be or not? Fill me in. Because at this point, I'm genuinely confused. And that's a hard thing to do. It's confuse me. Well, apparently not. I gotta retract that statement. I definitely have to retract that statement. I would say, based on the track record, that it's pretty darn easy to confuse me. Or at least it was. I'm getting a bit wittier, learning how to handle people. Brandon says, are you guys back on the road again, Jay Slice? Yes. Yes, we are. It says, money by my delusions. Okay. Please, educate me, professionals, on what my delusions are. I've got a whole bunch of PhDs in the room. All right. I'm listening. What do you got? Sherry, you've already asked that. This is another tactic that people would use to get me in a loop and make me paranoid. And it is evil. I'm going to tell you guys, if you live stream and someone sends out a comment and you get into conversation, people will make an effort to break you down. And it is sick and depraved and criminal. And whatever hell there is, you'll find those people in. As of right now, people repeating their comment. Someone repeating their comment. One that I answered. In order to get me in a loop. And people genuinely do not care about my feelings. And I'm letting you know they never did. They never did. And I'm over it. My heart hurts for those people. And it's like I so deeply want to understand what led them to be monsters without me becoming a monster. Because I want to be able to help people that have gone that far. Like, I want to be able to help people who can't be helped. Because people have helped me and said I couldn't be helped. But I can't do that if I don't look them dead in the face. Ramon says, am I going to talk to the person who is trying to make a video about me? That is an answer that I'm not going to provide. Nolo contendere, my friends. I disacknowledge existence. Alright? There are people who will fight very hard for my attention. This time around, no one's going to get it. Not with negative behavior. Because me acknowledging negative attention-seeking behavior was exactly what landed me in that place to begin with. So, when I do acknowledge negative attention-seeking people, I'm learning how to be as tactful as possible to make sure that what I embrace and how I embrace it is in a healthy and productive way, because they're clearly just seeking attention, and it's going to lead to a place that is destructive for everyone, unless I do it extremely tactfully, and I'm not there yet. So I just acknowledge, because I'm not there yet, and that's just humility. Mercalia says, 5 years from now, moving up to the Holiday Inn. Maybe. Holiday Inn's not cheap. What are they, $100 a night? That's $2,100, or that's 21 days. $3,000 a month. If I'm paying $3,000 per month to live in a hotel, I'd say I'm doing okay. I grew up poor. I didn't grow up with much. I'm making $5,000-$6,000 a year till the day I die. I'm finally okay with that. I don't need millions anymore. And that might be exactly why I get it. Because I no longer care. As long as I maintain my family and an ability to survive, I'm finally okay with who I am. Will I say that I'm happy living the way that I am? No. No, I'm not. I'm going to work to get myself to a place where I'm happy with my living situation, and then I'll revisit what I want to do next. But until then, I'll be mostly focusing on getting my life forward, and then helping people as much as I can along the way. That's just a healthy decision, of getting myself in a healthy headspace, because I can't help other people all that much if I'm not in a healthy place myself. And a healthy place for everybody is always going to be a little different. So I need to get myself to a better place first. Lynn says, well, first, Lynn, I asked you a question. I did ask you what I would need to do for UC change. You completely disacknowledged that question and waited a very long time to then put your comment out there, assuming that I would forget. I care about you. That is why I haven't forgotten. And I'm still waiting on my answer. And you said that I do need to love myself. I finally am learning how to. I am. Aoife, I completely understand. Aoife says the 10% you actually did wrong was very bad. The evidence won't disappear. I will say that the one thing I did wrong definitely accounts for 10% of my atmosphere and existence right now. Absolutely. I own that 100%. It won't disappear. I'm not seeking to bury anything. I may be a white male. Make an effort not to identify me with ones that you're afraid of or ones that you don't like, because I'm a regular guy. I'm not looking to make it disappear. It's something that, regardless of what is in the public, it's in my heart. Like, I made that choice, and it's in my heart. It doesn't matter, regardless of whether it's on the internet or it's not, whether people know or they don't know, or any of that. Think of it this way, and you can ask Kate this, if she'll answer you. I open up to the people that I care about and that are really close to me, and I open up to them about things that most people would never open up to anyone about. For me, it has to do with my conscience, and it has to do with my interior of who I am. What you're seeing now, in a good way, has always been who I am. It was just very, very difficult to be able to put myself out there without being afraid of other people. Because I'd always been called, even as a kid, that I was a fraud or a thief or a liar. And, that pattern has only continued to persist. And it's not true. Have I done that to a degree, accidentally? And then, like I said, in little portions, as a regular person would, on purpose. And then one big thing that wasn't regular or okay in any way. Yeah. But I'm not perfect. And the expectation of perfectionism is completely appropriate. Because if I'm going to live a 1% life and live a life where I'm responsible for society, if I really want to be that person, then I have to be that person. And I know you guys know that. But the only examples I had and the examples that I saw were of corrupt people. And that wasn't me trying to be corrupt. It was me mimicking different regular social behavioral patterns and then just whitewashing those people and believing that they weren't doing anything bad in the background. Truly. But what I will say is we could put a camera in this apartment or in this hotel room and we could play Big Brother here and just live stream for you 24/7. And it would still not be enough for some people. And that needs to be recognized. What should also be recognized is I'm doing my best to try and show as many people as humanly possible, as much as I can, as often as I can, as an effort to not only lead that industry, but really be a poster child for it and try and help people to a better understanding of how live streams should be done. And yeah, I'm still working on that. I'm pretty rude. I'm pretty crass. Am I mad? Am I hurt? Yeah. But I'm getting better. So. Alright, we'll see you, Lola. Thanks for stopping in. It's not justification. It's not justification. I'm still confused. Okay, can someone please clarify for me on where you see me justifying something? Because I said very clearly that I've done things wrong. And I'm moving forward. Like, I do recognize how wrong it was. I do. I shouldn't have done it. As soon as it happened, I learned very darn quick. And I was like, whoa, okay. Time to move this. No, this is just whatever the hell has to change on the outside must change on the outside because I'm clearly not being myself. So I'm waiting for someone to explain to me, like in full detail, intelligently, how on earth I am creating any form of justification at this point. I'm calling your bluff. There's no justification here. Not even from me. You're waiting for an extra punishment or something that you think I deserve. That's just not how life works. I got what I deserved. You do not know how much pain I've gone through. You have no idea what I've suffered. And sometimes the suffering that we get, life happens in mysterious ways sometimes, but it's not justification. Neftida, welcome on. How are you? Thanks for being on. Neftida says hi, Kate.
Hello.
What are my plans moving forward, says Pia. Plans moving forward are I have all of the platforms mapped out on what they're going to be for. I've said it a few times. You look back on the replay or DM me, I'll tell you if you want, personally. And also, we are going to probably move hotels. We're going to find somewhere new to live. There are hotels all over the country that are currently very low cost, that are renting out month to month to people who are homeless like ourselves, who cannot legitimately afford rent or long-term rent right now. We're being helped with rent. And so are by definition homeless. And so it's a convenient loophole. Not one that I would prefer to be capitalizing on, but the current situation calls for it. And I'm not going to close off my choices because other people think it's wrong. It's not wrong. It's just called leveraging. It's a normal thing that most people do. It's called leveraging. I'm just doing it to survive until we have enough money to legitimately purchase a house or get an apartment with a stable income. I'm just being clever and doing what it takes to survive for a little bit, because I wasn't smart enough to get by, so now I have to be clever now that I'm smart until I can catch up with my own mistakes. And I'll be all right. We'll be all right. What have I done for anyone exactly? Kate.
Yeah.
I have done so much for you, but you know what I learned from you?
What?
To stay humble, not boast, put my head down, and be grateful. So I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to put my head down, stay humble, and have gratitude for where I'm at, who I have in my life, and I'm going to leave it at that. Because I don't answer to Joseph B. Stalin. Your title says plans moving forward. What are they? Yes, yeah. That's if that question still applies, ask below, because I'm catching up. Eddie says, Jim, why not look into online courses to get qualified? Mechanic, truck driver, EMT. Now, why did I answer Eddie so quick? Because Eddie has been normal since day one. This man has brought nothing else to the table but hello and hanging out, regular suggestions. Eddie, do me a favor. If you have social media anywhere, I would be very happy to know you in real life on some level. Do me a favor and reach out. You are one of the few completely normal people I've ever met who, even when I've been off the deep end, did not treat me like crap. I remember that, and I'm thankful for that. Whether or not people judge me is one thing, but how you treat someone at your worst when they're at their worst, I don't know. I've learned a lot. Like you said, well, I keep saying that. I'm going to tell you again. I learned a lot. Nubia says, regarding your privacy, why continue to disclose your location seems dangerous? Nubia, it's psychological. People are actually much less likely to incite inappropriate behavior if the address is public and it is not some mystery to be discovered. I've discovered that over the years of social media is the more we attempt to conceal, the more people will attempt to expose. And like I said, standing here and letting people know there's nothing left to expose is a great way to diffuse the drama, bring people down to a regular, healthy level, and move forward like regular people. I thought I wanted to be irregular. Well, let me tell you, irregularity brought me a whole lot of stuff I was not interested in. So, regular is okay for me. Miranda's in here? Miranda, I do not see your comments at all. Miranda Panda, where are you at? I do not see your comments. Message me if you're in here. Message me somewhere else. I do not see you. Aoife, I'm taking it in. What more are you looking for? This is what I mean. On one end of the spectrum, people try to beat me down until I cry. And then when I cry, they'll call me a baby. And then I need to get over myself and move on with my life. When I get over myself and I move on with my life, people then turn around and say, oh my gosh, you're an abuser, you're justifying, you are narcissistic and psychopathic. Like, seriously, people, you're... Some people cannot be pleased. I finally just have to realize that. I finally just have to come to terms with that, is some people will never be pleased. Thank you for the super chat. I see we're now at $27 in super chat. I don't know when that happened. I apologize if I didn't acknowledge you. Thank you. But yeah, okay. So I will make an effort to please those who can be pleased with information that's already available, because I'm not going to change my life for people, but I will make better choices for myself. And the convenience is that it will also be in the favor of other people. You know, I'm making my choices for me and for Kate. But it's also, like I said, the way it's done. I'm trying to do better so that it respects your feelings. Can I address my title, please? I don't remember what my title is. God's honest truth. Welcome to my live streams.
Plans moving forward.
Plans moving forward. Yeah. That's the best I have right now. We're moving hotels. I know what my platforms will be. Kate is studying up to do her thing. I'm refocused on my platform and finally nailing some stuff out. We are getting support for food. We will have enough support for 1 month of a hotel, 1 more month, and that's where we're at. And even in so much as some of that information is a bit more than has to be shared. But I'm sharing it for the social, emotional security of people who are concerned about myself or concerned about Kate. That you know that we're going to be safe and okay, at least for 1 more month. That's important to know. Or at least I believe so. I'm realizing there's a lot of concerned parents out there. So, that's what I have. Also, for anyone that wants to know, Caitlin and I are engaged in therapeutic processes to rejuvenate the relationship between her and I on a friendship level, and work through the traumas and the issues that we've experienced together, as well as sort through things from our past and confronting our past and confronting people from our past and just trying to maneuver things and help people forward, that it is the least cost to the people who genuinely mean well. And also realizing people who do not genuinely mean well, the hammer down is going to come hard for them. And I'm not in control of that. And I never was, and I never will be. But there are a lot of people who believe they have some sort of leverage or control that are in complete delusion about the position here. We can see past, a homeless guy with one shirt who has been delusional, whatever, and abusive, right? I said it. Not anymore. I'm not. So, why do I say it? Because I'm honest. But I'd like to just move on. It's there. It's just, you're not going to sit here and turn my guilt into your entertainment. It's something that I'm going to work through off screen, because there's a lot of people who would love to suck off of my life for their content based on my guilt and suffering. So, I'm not going to allow that to happen. How's the RCA tablet treating you? Very well. Oh my gosh, talk about gratitude. This little tablet came out of nowhere. You want to talk about paranoia? Yeah, oh my gosh, when we first got it, I didn't say this to Kate, I didn't say this to the person who gave it to us. I'm all like, because this is when I was like hyper paranoid. And I know this is only a couple of days ago. I'm getting better tremendously day by day. But I was just like, oh my gosh, what if like somebody put a program in there, or like, it's hacked, and just, I was really not in a good place. But I appeased those fears. I put them down. I put them to the side. I realized it was delusional and unhealthy, and I didn't embrace it. I really am doing better. I'm working through the delusions. I really am. And I'm so proud of myself. You know, I'm working through it. And I know that for a lot of you, in order to believe I'm getting better, you say I have to be a part of that you have to be a part of that process. It's not your fault that you can't be a part of that process. It is the fault of other people who are going to abuse me. If I explain the intricacies of the process I'm going through, they will simply use that as a way to build out further tactics to attack my psychology. And I can't allow for more psychological warfare in my life because it literally caused me to lose my mind. And that, is a freaking crime. So I don't want to invite criminal behavior or taunt it or invite it or incite it or educate it. It's another piece is being more responsible with what I know, is not just blurting it out into the abyss, because then some people will use it poorly. But I would like to help people and find a way to build it into legitimate science and where things are. Because I'm definitely like a freaking human experiment, and I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I'm not a fan of the people who treated me like an experiment, but I did learn a lot. So hopefully it can be utilized, and it doesn't just die with me. I'm not calling you. Okay. Camo says, dude, I own my own home, my own car, I pay my own bills. You sit in a Motel 6 and beg for money. I'm definitely not jealous. Get over yourself. Camel Puck, if you are not jealous, then I'm not referring to you. People, please, stay with me here. It's a live stream. It's 144 people watching. If the statement I'm making does not apply to you, don't take it to heart. I'm talking to 144 people, and certain things I'm going to say will not apply to every single one of you. So if it doesn't apply to you, just don't take it to heart, because it's not for you. And that's hopefully okay. I'm being as sensitive as I can be, but I'm sorry for my hurtful words. Let me leave it there. I'm sorry for my hurtful words. Because it doesn't freaking matter. And no matter how much I justify, I'm only talking to certain people. I hurt his feelings. Clearly. It doesn't matter what my reasoning was. It's rude and, by definition, abusive. I'm just hurt and I'm upset with the people who had hurt me. And so my behavior right there was not cool. So, Camo Pug, I'm sorry. And to anyone else who was hurt, whose feelings were hurt by what I had said, I'm sorry. Okay. I am going to have to go soon, though, because I'm at about 90 minutes, and I'm ready to tap out. Gotta admit when I'm at my limit. Mimi says, what are you guys doing all day to fill your time? Mimi, my phone moves very, very, very slow. It takes me pretty much all day to see the stuff to make the stuff that you see on social media. Pretty much all day. And the stuff that you don't see, then it's kind of like just Kate and I hanging out, talking about life, talking about, dreams and plans. And at this point, that's what it's turned to, is us trying to figure out where we want to take this. Education is another big thing. Kate is beginning to educate me on certain facets of life that she has learned, just patience, how to deal with people, social skills that I do not have. She's teaching me how to handle people, because she's very good with handling people privately. I'm much better at handling people publicly than in real life. And here's the difference, guys. When you come on the internet, you're dealing with 15, 20, 30 different walks of life. From all different walks of life. It's not just one demographic. It's not a controlled demographic. It's not a controlled scenario where most people are similar or the same, or similar to some degree. It's people that are all so different. So a lack of hurtfulness can be very difficult. Caitlin is very, very good at avoiding hurt when she wants to in private. She's a professional at it. And so what I'm doing is learning from her how she does that and making an effort to replicate that in public. So, for example, I'm very hurt and I can be reactive sometimes. Now that reactiveness has come down to just choice words every now and again that are very rare, but I will admit it does happen. And, it's hurtful. And then immediately I retract and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I'm sorry. And like I said, it's happening less and less. That piece of it is the last piece, and everything else is dissipated, thank God, and I'm moving on. But I still get those bouts of paranoia, I'd say about once a week, where there's maybe a 10-minute period where I'm really scared of her, and there's absolutely no reason to be scared of her. But in the past, there had been. And now, I'm coming down from that. So, like I said, what I'm learning from her is how to be tender because of how tender she's being with me. I'm being tender with her as well, but tenderness was never my strong suit my whole life. I was always very boisterous and reactive and just rude and judgmental, and I was pretty much just raised to, how do I say this, use words that shouldn't be said at all to voice my feelings. And I'm getting better at communicating my feelings. And so is Kate. We both have our cruxes in reference to how we communicate our feelings, and we're both getting better, which is really good. Joe Simon says, hey, I'm real. I sing and dance and have 2 cats. That's pretty cool. Oh, you know what I'm realizing? I want to apologize again to the people that I accused of something because I said, oh, you're repeating comments and you're trying to get me paranoid. That is a blanket statement, and that in itself is paranoia. People have done it. They have. But to assume that a singular person did it when there's no evidence that that is their tactic. Let me play you in. Let me fill you in on this. I was in a rough emotional place, and so I was hurt and scared of people. So when I was in that level of fear, I would then blanket statement to, okay, this person's being mean to me. They must be doing all of these things, right? What was I trying to do? When I was at a place of low intelligence, I was trying to wrap my brain around what they were doing. I was trying to quickly evaluate. That is what people do in a survival scenario. That's what a human being does in a survival scenario. Tries to wrap their head around what's happening as quickly as possible so that either they can get out of it, through it, or conquer it. That's what I was doing. Yeah, by definition, that's paranoia. But I now see why I was experiencing that and why I was embracing that. Because I got into this cycle, this endless cycle of fear, induced by some evil people who realized I had too much pride to step away and become educated. I have that education now. I am making sure to stay in my lane while I get on track before I move forward ever again. We are getting on track and getting into a healthy place and getting stable and, just getting good. And then the next step can talk about it. Life moves forward either way. So that's what we're moving forward. But whatever we're going to do with this, that'll have to come next. Brando says, right on, J-Slice, stay focused on moving forward. Thank you, Brando. Aoife says it's not her fault. Well, what are we referring to, Aoife? You're going to have to be specific, because as you can tell, the conversation moves pretty quickly. And you know what I'm realizing? The more I help people see my sanity and my progress and my growth, the angrier people get. They don't think I'm justifying, guys. Any rational people out there, maybe you already know that. It's me trying to figure out who's real and who's not. And as I expose myself and I put myself out there, people think I'm nuts for doing that, or that I'm weak, or no, it's a very strong tactic, because when I do that, it pulls people out into the public with honesty, and it shows their true colors. And then I know who I can talk to and who I can't, who's going to screw me, manipulate me, whatever, and who's truly going to be in my corner. And before I support anyone else, knowing who's who. And it's very important to me that I know who's who, period, before I move forward with whatever I'm going to move forward with. Okay, Kate. Lynn says, Jim and Kate, do you really like this life? Then now, are you potentially answering a question? Can I ask you this question? You don't want it. Kate doesn't invite it. Sorry, Lynn. Kate doesn't invite it. She's not ready for it. So I will answer it. Do you really like this life? Don't lie. Think about it. Answer later. Lynn, I like the social media life. I do like living out in the public. I do like talking with people one-on-one and being involved with this. The way I've lived it, absolutely not. But I try to pretend like it was that I liked it in any way. I just didn't like myself. So, didn't go well. Now I do, so it'll go much better. Bella Luna says, there are some things that don't belong on social media, and a personal relationship is one of them. Bella Luna, I'm going to say two things. Number one, that is a personal opinion. Number two, as of right now, that is true for my life. Can't say for the future, though. I might meet someone who it's better that we're on screen. Don't know. Not there yet. If I don't speak for Kate. Other people are telling me not to speak for Kate. You shouldn't speak for her either. That's too far. And if that's going to start happening, then I'm not going to look to the end of the comments. I can just come back next time. Emma says, how old am I? I'm 25. Stretched, thank you for the comedy. Much appreciated. Chris, thank you for the $1 super chat. Much appreciated. P.O. says, do you have a vehicle? I do not. Not currently. Michael Conger says, Lord, can you for once do something for yours? Can you for once in your life do something for yourself? I'm trying to. I'm working on it. I really appreciate your support, though. I appreciate those words. I'm trying to do something for myself. It's just, I care a lot about people. So I'm really trying not to leave people behind. You included. You're here in the broadcast. So you're just as important as everyone else. Please know that. Chris says, where's my thank you for my contribution? I didn't see it until now. Sorry if I hurt your feelings. What are your plans moving forward? That's the best I got, P.O. Raven says, you got a whole lot of demons on you, boy. I do. They're on me. Trying to say that I'm them, or they're me, or something. I don't know. On me is the word. Joseph Stalin says, the facade is breaking. Yes, it is. And hopefully, a lot of rational people are coming to recognition of how I got to the unhealthy state that I got to. Because I care that much. Yup. It's really good. Really good. To finally be seen again. For who I am. Sarah says, you and Kate are welcome to come and hike and see the horses. That sounds awesome. That sounds absolutely awesome. Stretched, thank you very much for the super chat. He gave me a 1-up. Do you get it or no? Like a life. You know, like he could see that I gotta shut down soon, and so it's like giving a life. Thank you, Stretched. I am gonna have to shut down because I am definitely full for the day. But I definitely appreciate everyone's time and effort and love for those of you who have been silent and those of you who have been supportive as you can be. Absolutely appreciated. Marcus says, is it accurate to say you over-exaggerated my popularity or my clout? I never said anything about my popularity or my clout recently. At least I'm pretty sure. I said I have called people clout suckers, but I haven't personally mentioned that I'm popular or that I have clout. I haven't said that once. So I'm not sure what you're referring to. Snowman says, what is the plan and how can you stick to it financially? Explain. How do I say this? I make content. I get a lot of views. I have decent ad rev and the ability to read my analytics very well and tap into the algorithm and make sure that things work out. I made an effort back in 2017 and it was working until I focused on others more than myself. There's a lot of people who are saying, hey, you know, you don't know what's coming, It's, like I said, it's just level 2. It's not, I'm not impressed. I'm not scared. I just, that's a lie. I'm scared. How's that for the truth? I am terrified. I am terrified. That is a normal, healthy reaction. But what I am so much more scared of than people hurting me is just knowing that other people are trying to take control of my narrative, you know, and that they have no problem doing it for the sake of a paycheck. It's sickening. And then wash their hands clean with my blood and say, well, no, I did it for justice. That's just playing Batman, and that's called psychotic narcissism. So, for me, I don't condone it. I'm just moving on as best as I can. Blocking out whatever noise I can and just keeping focused. Doing the best I can. Suckers here says, please come to my home in Canada. Suckers here maybe one day. As of right now, Caitlin and I are digging our own path. Oof. Lori says, sure got quiet. I'm chilling. Mimi says, when are you guys hitting the road? That is up for speculation and not to be shared for the sake of privacy. Digital Goon says, people got mad because of your e-begging grifting. Here's the thing, Digital Goon. Some people did. Some people did. Here's the thing. It wasn't begging. It wasn't grifting. A lot of people thwarted my efforts and made sure I couldn't get forward. So then the drama would continue. And it would appear as though those things were true. And it was my focus on them and me getting drugged into all that is the reason it took this long to make it happen. So now I'm keeping focused, and I'm trying to find who's reasonable, because I can't reason with reasonable people until I figure out who the reasonable people are. And I am finally making a healthy decision not to assume who on the internet is reasonable and who is not. I have to put some feelers out there. That's going to cost me feelings. That's going to cost me time. That's going to cost me exposure and whatnot. I think it's worth it. That's just me personally. Rachel says, can you guys take walks? Yeah. Yes, we can. Snowman says, if you were a parent, would you be proud of you? Proud is probably not a word that I would use. I wouldn't necessarily be ashamed. If I had a kid who went through what I had already gone through, I would understand them. If I didn't go through that, then I'd probably be pretty ashamed. But someone who understands what I've been through, they wouldn't be ashamed of me. So, would I be proud of me? No, of course not. Not at this point. Not yet. The point comes where it's the redemption story and all the great stuff, but that doesn't come for a long time. And until that comes, it's just eating crap. Both for mistakes I haven't made and mistakes I made, as well as mistakes I have made and mistakes that others have made, as well as a whole bunch of people trying to prove me wrong because they don't like who they are. Yeah, so proud of me wouldn't be a word that I would use. Not at this point. Raven says, you've got demonic spirits controlling you. And to that, Raven, with respect, I would recommend psychiatric assistance. Because that's a bit off the cuff. Sarah says, I love you and Kate. I remember many conversations where we talked about you finding a good woman. Sarah, can you please message me? Please message me, because I'm trying to remember. Please reach out to me somewhere, if you would. Life is all about learning new things, says Bea. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's an endless journey. And it can be exciting and positive and fun, if we know how to focus on the positive. Snowman says, does a following make you somebody? I think everybody is somebody. That's just my personal take on life. I can't say the answer is necessarily yes or no. It's going to change depending on who someone is, how they feel about having a following. But for me personally, I don't derive my value from having a following. So I don't think there's any one way that it works. I think everyone has their own way of making it work and who they are. And to devalue one person or another is simply rude. A perfect example of that is I have a friend who... That's gossip. Good for me. Stretched, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Well, Mimi, here's my question to you. Because Mimi says, Jim, don't call it an accident, it's a mistake. Mimi, who defines the line between what of my actions were an accident and what of my actions were a mistake? I do. And I'm not delusional about it. I'm not making excuses for nearly as much as you guys think I am. I will also say that, how do I put this? I've not done nearly as much wrong. As much. It's one thing I did wrong was terrible. Absolutely. But 99% of the rest, actually non-existent. So that's why you see me sitting here like I'm so okay. Is because I've been ignored about everything that had happened, even out and reacted, and all I really had to do was just put it all in the past and move on. Now I am. Thank God it's not too late. Too late is when you're dead. Personal thoughts. And then this goes out to anybody that makes mistakes. Look at your life and realize your life is not over until the last breath leaves your lungs. Anybody else has to say about you. Don't allow them to label you. Jen says, are you seeing my comments? I see your comment here, and I saw an earlier comment. I'm also behind on comments. Sleeping Bear says, is Kate going to speak in this live? Kate, now I will tell you, Sleeping Bear is the woman who was extremely kind to you. Like, remember the girl I told you? And I answered her, and then I made the cast? And did the Periscope video about it? That's her. Would you be open to entertaining a conversation with her? It's up to you. I'm not offering you an option or something. I see where you stand. You don't want to be involved with anybody. But you also say you want people in your life. I'm trying here, people. You do. Do you want to talk to her now or in a private message? Sleeping Bear, DM me, please, when you get the chance. Thank you. But I will say, Sleeping Bear, please understand that we are dealing with people from the internet. And Caitlin is not versed in deception outside of small ways. So I'm going to get a crap ton for this. I will be present during the conversation. Think what you want, people. That's fine. But I'm protecting Kate, not myself. Because there are people who will come off very kind, who cannot be trusted. And they will work very hard to gain either my trust or Kate's trust, and they have already done it. So we are both very careful. Very careful. I do not have the ability to allow or disallow whether or not Caitlin speaks. She chooses not to speak to you because you're mean. And that's a normal thing. All right, normal people don't want to talk to mean people. I'm not all that normal. I'm pretty average. Some days I call myself normal, some days I don't. Depends on the convenience of the situation. You're a human, says Rachel Hoff. That's right, I'm a human. Sherry asked, Jim, may I ask if you were abused as a child? Either physically, sexually, emotionally, or verbally. That is in the past, Sherry. I am open to having that conversation with you in confidence, in the DMs. But I am not looking to anymore bring up my childhood on live stream. I'm moving on. And I don't want people labeling me because of my past. Because that's another thing I realized is I didn't know how many people, kind of created this smoke screen or mask over a person who's been through certain stuff or done certain stuff because they can't relate to it. That they just then literally, it's like a piece of the humanity just doesn't exist. So to safeguard people from understanding who I am based on my past, in one way or another, I would prefer to speak with you about that in confidence. Says, why are you better now than 3 days ago when he was going to leave? I'm not the one that had to get better. I love you. Why am I better now? Because Kate's better now. Even if she left, I'd still be better. But in reference to that situation, that is why I'm better. When someone else is in your life, their existence affects your existence. That's pretty normal, pretty standard. Marcus says contrition is what people need to see. Marcus, can you describe to me what contrition means to you? Stretched, thank you very much for the super chat. Joe, it's not that I clearly care more about negative comments. You are saying that people are comments. I care about everyone equally. I am giving the attention to the people who need it the most. How about that? There are people who need my attention clearly, far more than people who are happy and healthy and stable. Those people are in my DMs, where they belong, it seems. I will find a way to build out a platform or a space where I can talk with the people who are just, ready for regular conversation. I realize, though, that a lot of the free platforms and the free form is where the people who are down on their luck or who are not necessarily the most healthy, that's where they live. That's where they have, because they can't afford better. And there's nothing wrong with that. Or the regular people who can afford regular legitimate entertainment other than YouTube, and they come here to hang out. But for me, I'm not going to find the people who genuinely need my help or attention on a paid platform. Or, they're not going to be there. Because just like me, they're not usually going to be able to afford it. And if they can't afford it, those kind of people usually aren't interested in my help because they think they're better than me. So I really do actually enjoy talking to people, even when it might be a little rough for me. It's worth it for me. It's like, I don't know. It's not about, I don't think it ever really was deep down about the endurance for me. I think I knew what I was doing in reference to those people, and I try to make an excuse because I wanted to, get something extra or have something for me, and then call it charitable or that I cared. And I did care, but I felt like I deserved more. I should get more. But clearly I have no problem giving of myself and being here for free for 2 hours and putting up with people's crap because I actually do care that much, even about them. I'm learning about myself. learning about myself. Were you trying to show me something? Okay. Digital Goon asks, why can't you get a job? Digital Goon, this is my job, first off. And second off, I'm assuming you're referring to a traditional job. As you can see, there's a whole lot of people who are very confused about me and do not like me. And for years it has been that way. And I kind of messed that up right in the beginning. There is no opportunity to return to regular life for me. It's not a possibility. Just trust me on that. There is a cult-like following of hate against me. Let me say it this way. It's the weirdest thing. I want to say this. There were people in the beginning who said I was trying to start a cult. And it's so ironic, because as I sit here, it's like there is a cult around my name, but it is a cult of people who hate me and will do anything to slander my name and make up lies about it. It's like a cult of lies and hate around me. And it is just the most bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. Anyway. I wanted to say that because it's unfathomable, because there's just so many things that people accuse me of and all this different stuff, and I almost believe them. And now that I woke up to it all, I look at it, and it's all of the people who are saying those things about me. It's true about them. And I didn't want to, I knew that, and you heard me say, I used to say it over and over and over. But, I didn't necessarily have proof. And now that I see it plain as day and I know, I can finally rest. Because I'm the one who needed to know before I gave up on those people. It was just a few people. Before I realized those were people I definitely had to move on from. It's like, yeah, there's nothing I can do. And me trying to do something is only detrimenting me. So I moved on from it. Guys, I love you, and I appreciate being here with you, but I am going to have to go check my notifications real quick. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, I got 10 minutes. Kate, would you want to write the blog today or no?
Sure.
All right, do me a favor and write the blog? Because we got 10 minutes before I have to post it. I totally forgot. I got wrapped up here. Too much to catch up on. Okay. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. But I did get 2 calls while I was on, so I have to go and see what's going on. And I will talk to you very soon. And I have a lot of comments, DMs, follows to fall back, things like that. And I'm very appreciative for the people who are half decent on that. So please give a like on that video. If you got stuff going on in your life, well, I guess this might end up being the platform for it. I don't know. I don't freaking know anymore. Every time I think I have it figured out, my heart says something else. So there's something bigger, sees a bigger opportunity, because as my heart expands, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I can do even more. So, I don't know. We'll see. Talk soon. Thanks for coming.